Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Please remember to turn off your phone or silent. Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah. Ashhadu anna Muhammadar Rasulullah. حي على الصلاة حي على الفلاح قد قامت الصلاة قد قامت الصلاة الله أكبر الله أكبر لا إله إلا الله.
لا إله إلا الله. استووا واستقيموا واعتدلوا فإن تسوية الصفوف من تمام الصلاة. الله أكبر. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين. إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين. اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين. آمين. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. عما يتساءلون عن النبأ العظيم الذي هم فيه مختلفون. كلا سيعلمون ثم كلا سيعلمون. ألم نجعل الأرض مهادا والجبال أوتادا وخلقناكم أزواجا وجعلنا نومكم سباتا وجعلنا الليل لباسا وجعلنا النهار معاشا وبنينا فوقكم سبعا شدادا وجعلنا سراجا وهاجا وأنزلنا من المعصرات ماء ثجاجا لنخرج به حبا ونباتا وجنات ألفافا إن يوم الفصل كان ميقاتا يوم ينفخ في الصور فتأتون أفواجا وفتحت السماء فكانت أبوابا وسيرت الجبال فكانت سرابا إن جهنم كانت مرصادا للطاغين مآبا لابثين فيها أحقابا لا يذوقون فيها بردا ولا شرابا إلا حميما وغساقا جزاء وفاقا إنهم كانوا لا يرجون حسابا وكذبوا بآياتنا كذابا وكل شيء أحصيناه كتابا فذوقوا فلن نزيدكم إلا عذابا. الله أكبر. سمع الله لمن حمده. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين آمين. إن للمتقين مفازا حدائق وأعنابا وكواعب أترابا وكأسا دهاقا لا يسمعون فيها لغوا ولا كذابا جزاء من ربك عطاء حسابا رب السماوات والأرض وما بينهما الرحمن لا يملكون منه خطابا يوم يقوم الروح والملائكة صفا لا يتكلمون إلا من أذن له الرحمن لا يتكلمون إلا من أذن له الرحمن وقال صوابا ذلك اليوم الحق فمن شاء اتخذ إلى ربه مآبا إنا أنذرناكم عذابا قريبا يوم ينظر المرء ما قدمت يداه ويقول الكافر يا ليتني كنت ترابا الله أكبر سمع الله لمن حمده الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر السلام عليكم ورحمة الله السلام عليكم ورحمة الله استغفر الله استغفر الله
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين وبه نستعين على أمور الدنيا والدين لا حول ولا قوة إلا بالله العلي العظيم السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. My dear brothers and sisters, our speakers cannot make it today, so I'm filling in for him. And since Ramadan, a lot of news we see in the today's social media packed world, and in particular, the attention is about Al-Quran, that all of us trying to read, trying to understand, trying to be related, trying to pay attention to. And of course, sometimes we, even for those for us who are regularly coming to the masjid, the founding message in Al-Quran, ذَلِكَ الْكِتَابُ لَا رَيْبَ فِيهِ هُدًى لِلْمُتَّقِينَ. This is the book. In it, there is no doubt. Some people translated, this is the book with a content that is exact. There is no questioning about it. And as much as modern times have been trying to come out with many different deceptions, trying to bury that, like in some Eastern European countries where Al-Quran had been prohibited for many years, decades. Nevertheless, until today, Al-Quran still flourishing. So Al-Quran been put down purposely, been put aside purposely, but still the Al-Quran is becoming one of the most thought about, seek about books on the planet until today, alhamdulillah. Scientists in Surah Al-Hadid, for example, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentioned about the darkness of the ocean, describing when people are lost. They can't even see their hand. And this alone cannot be proven, only proven by people who are expert in oceanic, because the equipment to go down to the bottom of the ocean is only discovered in the last maybe 20, 30 years with this vehicle that can go down, because when you go down in the ocean, it's exploded very quickly. But yet Al-Quran mentioned that, and the scientists who searched it, because of that, he declared Shahada. And the same thing we already know about Al-Quran, about embryonic, for example. This is very popular. In Tennessee, there was a doctor about gynecologist, and when he discovered how these progressions of human embryonic, how is it in the precise way, this American doctor who lived in the Tennessee area, I believe is in between Nashville area. And in that area, one pastor had declared there will be no masjid in this area. And I happened to be working there for my consulting job. So I visited many masjids there. And there was one small masjid, very unassuming, in the shopping center. And I had an opportunity to chit-chat with the board of directors there. Some are elder gentlemen. And then they shared with me with that. And this doctor, because of reading how the Al-Quran describing, he becoming the first American doctor, Caucasian, becoming Muslim in that area. And from that area, becoming the Muslim becoming more stronger, feeling a little bit empowered, and the many masjid. Now, if you go to Nashville area, There are at least 14 masjids around that area. Now, we are not talking about it. This is, again, back to the Al-Quran. And the same thing when the mummy in Surah Al-Hajj, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, no, maybe I'm mistaken, which surah was that? Allah says about the Pharaoh. The mummy of Pharaoh will be preserved to be the reminder for mankind. And we know that Pharaoh is so the one that was chasing Prophet Moses. So his body was preserved, and then when this was heard by a French scientist, they tried to borrow that mummy from the government of Egypt and brought it to France to study this. How could the mummy that should have been decayed by now and still well preserved, and they studied that. And that scientist who did the study also became a Muslim. So for us, for example, we are struggling, teaching, conveying, messaging to Al-Quran to everybody. And if it is because of that, my dear brothers and sisters, if it is because of that, this community exists. The other day, we had a visitor from Catholic University. They're all studying Catholicism. So they came to visit us here. And the conversation that we had was, they're asking many questions, and we exchange information. And one thing that they asked is how this community was built. How this community was built. And I mentioned to him, I said, we built this masjid. It was only a vehicle. But we were, in early 1990s, we were so afraid that our children will not have the opportunity to know God, to know Allah. This is how this community was built. It's out of fear that the children would not know their Lord. That's how we built it. We didn't build this out of the ambitions. We did not build this out of we built it out of that fear. And for all those people who are in management, need to remember this. We built this not because to seek who stand in the podium, who goes to the front, whose name is on the board, or whose name. That's not why we built this community. We built it because we were afraid that our children would not know who Allah is, would not know who Muhammad is, would not know who the other prophets, and would not know about the Al-Quran. So, my dear brothers and sisters, although it's not my schedule to be giving tazkirah today, but I would like to remind you about this Al-Quran, and that is what we need to be doing today. So last but not least, my dear brothers and sisters, this community, I hear Ja'far talking up here every day, talking about parking. Every day he's talking about parking, and 3 times incident already, 3 times. Maybe the same, maybe different person. But my dear brothers and sisters, if you are not standing up to fight, but standing up to come up with something, I don't know what it is. Maybe we should be standing in line over there. Anybody, before we go to khutbah, I don't know what it is. If we don't stand up, if we don't do something as a community, very soon we are going to be affected by these people with the bad behavior. We need to do something. We have discussed so much about that. Every day I hear Jafar standing up here, and he tried to be polite about it. Sometimes I feel like jumping to speak for him. But I urge you to think, sister, brothers, please think about, maybe we should be standing over there, 5 of us, and everybody coming here. Please do not park over there. I do not know. But let's come up with something cohesively. We cannot be, this is just another problem. And I can tell you, without naming name, one masjid, it was very flourishing masjid, because of one person complaining, the masjid activities reduce tremendously. So let's and I'm really serious about this one. I am sure if we put our mind together, there got to be a way. There got to be a way to counter this kind of behavior. I don't know whether you know what incident is. A brother coming here for Jum'ah prayer, he parked his what was described as a SUV vehicle in front of somebody's entrance on the first street over there, the one to the left. And then when the lady trying to come out, the passage is short. He said, go ahead, go ahead, go ahead. Then the lady swiped his car, the mirror, and then that brother cursed her with the word that you cannot imagine to be used by a Muslim after Friday prayer. And the second time similarly happened last Friday. And not only that, according to the report that I have, when there's a brother coming late, and he parked right here in the driveway, they see the driveway of his neighbor. And they just tried it. Thank God the parking, people working in the parking area saw that, hey, this is a private property. So on the second part of this discussion, I don't know the answer, but I'll leave it to your mind. We need to come up with something. Yes, Brother Malik. Yes.
Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. I'm talking about this every day. Brother Jafar, Brother Arif, Brother Firdaus are talking, and most of our community is not aware of one of our experience with Al-Huda Masjid. Wallahi, Al-Huda Masjid shut down for Jum'ah and for Ramadan prayer because of the parking, neighbors complaining. But I think Arif is, or Firdaus, your problem, because you have to enforce it by towing, by ticketing. You know what I mean? Start with ticketing and towing. Because most of us, we're going to lose this opportunity praying, bringing our children here. People, they don't care because they come only once. When they live far away, they park anyway. Because again and again it was said, don't park on Highland and First. But those regular people who are coming, they are parked anyway. Almost they come every other day, you know. So for those people, the best remedy is like to tow or ticketing. You cannot like make always like lenient or something like that. Yeah, we're Muslims. Whenever we go to school or our job, everywhere we respect the laws and regulation of the area or the neighborhood. But when it's masjid, we are the most disrespectful people to do that, you know. So I think the best way, the best thing we have to do is do the legal action. You know, use law enforcement or put a big sign on the door. If you park First Street or Highland, don't enter, you know, to the masjid, to the person. Otherwise, you cannot solve this problem and we end up with Al-Huda's issue, inshallah.
Okay, Jazakallah. Yes, Brother Abdullah.
Thank you, Brother Malik. I agree with what he said. I actually think that it's a system, like everyone needs to do their part. The Muslims need to do their part. The management need to do their part. And like as Brother Malik said, there is a fiqh rule that says, إن الله لا يزع بالسلطان ما لا يزع بالقرآن, that basically translates to like some people don't, like if you brought every evidence in the Quran and Sunnah about like not hurting the neighbors, not blocking they are not going to listen, but they only are going to listen with force, with reprimand. So like there needs to be a system, like, and like especially from the management as well, they feel guilty if they are going to tow someone's car. Or the other thing also, like legally this place is a private place. You have the right to call a cop on someone to tell them like this person is trespassing, which means basically like if someone is a chronic offender like they are hurting our neighbors, they are not listening. You will be sitting here and you are saying like this Toyota Corolla is blocking this driveway, and they are sitting and pretending that they are not here. They don't even have a car, and their car is blocking the neighbor, and they are doing that. You have the right to call the police and tell them like, we don't want you in this masjid. Religiously, it's impermissible to kick someone out of the masjid. The Prophet said, if someone eats onion or garlic, don't come to our masjid and pray at your home. The ulama use this hadith to say, if someone is hurting the Muslim community or hurting the masjid, you have the right religiously to kick them out of the masjid, to prevent them from coming to the masjid. So, like, we need, and the other part is also like, we need to be proactive in a sense that, okay, like we don't want to wait for the neighbors to go to the county and make a complaint. We need to go like, ourselves to the county, tell them like, we have this problem with some of our people that come to our masjid. Can we please like find like some parking enforcement between these hours from this time, to give people tickets to? We should also like hire a towing car. One of our dear brothers here like came on the podium and said like he feels bad to ticket our Muslim brothers. On the other hand, Prophet Muhammad said, وَالَّذِي نَفْسِي بَيَدِهِ, if Fatima bint Muhammad سرقت لأقطعن يدها. Oh by Allah, if my daughter Fatima steals something, I'll cut her hands. So, like we need to be, like we need to follow the deen. Like we don't need to feel like guilty towards our Muslim brothers, because like the priorities of fiqh is number one, to preserve the deen. And the number one factor in America and West that prevents people from going in Islam are the Muslims themselves. All these neighbors that are having bad experience from us, and I'm sure they sleep, wake up, curse Islam, and their families curse Islam, and they don't like, even if like all that dua came to them from the whole world, they are not going to be open to hear about Islam because of our practices as Muslims. So we as the Muslims, we have a duty to prevent this from happening. We have a duty to be proactive and try to stop this from happening. The other thing also, like eventually, like something that I thought about, like before or after each Ramadan, like after each Jum'ah, we need to reach out to these neighbors, bring them some gifts, tell them we are sorry that you have to put up with us all this time. At least that will alleviate some of this damage that we did to them. One other thing that I thought about is during Friday prayer or during Tarawih, we should have a hotline or something, like a designated number to reach out to if we see some violation, and for the neighbors also to give them to the neighbors, not to call us directly if there is someone is like actively doing something wrong. We don't want to wait for them to send a letter a week later or something, or like we know later that they reached to the county and made a complaint or so. So having a hotline, designated hotline for them to reach out actively, it will make them at least feel that we are caring and we want to prevent the problem before happening or at the time of it happening. Inshallah, I can put like all this together on Wednesday and send it to you guys. But that's a little bit of what I thought about.
Jazakallah khair. Thank you. Not to counter that, but I just want to make sure. Number one, we did consult the police. The hotline, I think, is a very good idea. So I'm making note of it. And also the police, we are working with them. And as far as towing is concerned, we check with Brother Sharif, we check with other officers that is, because it's public space, we do not have the authority to do that. But we can request police to enforce the parking, issuing tickets for that. Huh? Yeah. Okay. Well, we are in different jurisdiction, so but we will. But I think we get the point here. But the reason I bring this up also is I just want to bring the awareness. One of the things that we could do is also, in addition to all those suggestions, is to people coming in, we remind them because, like Brother Malik said, many of those offenders are one-timer. They don't come here, so they don't have, they just want to come here to fulfill obligations, and then they don't have attachment sensitivities to what we are facing here. And so I think there's many points that you mentioned, brother. So thank you very much. Yeah, we will, inshallah, we will try to update that. And any other? Oh yes.
Assalamu alaikum.
Alaikum salam wa rahmatullah.
Actually, I'm here. I'm right here.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Yeah. So actually, I'm very new in this community, but the challenge that you are discussing is something we face also where I'm from in Vermont. So people come and park like just as we are facing here. But one thing that we did there is that like just beside us, we have a synagogue. So there's like a partnership with the synagogue that on Saturdays, they use our place. And on Fridays, we use their place. I'm not saying this is going to solve the challenge. And I don't even think there's a synagogue close to the mosque that you can have that kind of partnership. But when you want to continue on to enforce that, oh, we have exhausted all means, perhaps one thing we can also do, because we did do this too, across the street, there's like a park there. So we suggested to people to park in that place. And then we have someone from the community who is into taxi. We said, if you come after 1, then you should park there, and there is going to be a vehicle that is going to bring you from that place to the mosque. Again, I'm not saying this is going to work because still we have people who still violate that. They still park the way we said don't park. But I'm saying before we go on to tow, we should exhaust all possible means. If there is like a space that can be hired, I'm not saying it's going to be the perfect solution, but at least then we know we have exhausted all possible means. We've given you all the things we should have done, but you still continue to, you know, disobey. Then we go on to tow. And I think it is very, because in the mosque I come from, people don't want to enforce. They just, we are going to tow. We are going to tow. There has not been an example. By the time you do like 5 people, and I can use myself as an example. In the place I work, I've gotten ticket like twice. Nobody will tell me any, like, to park properly. By the time you have to pay like 200 to get your car back, the next time you will not do it again. So enforcement is very important. That is what makes law to be effective. When you don't enforce, people say, they are not going to tow me. No.
Thank you. Jazakallah khair. Oh, thank you.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Based on my experience here, I see whatever going on in our community is not Imam responsibility. It's all of us, brothers and sisters. Why? Because you cannot be 24 hours outside. By myself, I won't lie to you. Maybe some people don't like me. Why? I catch some people like parking inside of that townhouses, and I catch him, I stop him. I don't let him go. It was even Asr prayer 2 days ago. I say, no, what do you want to do? Just shut down this masjid. It's very tough. It means it's very simple. The day what we can, when the imam, before he start, always the brother say, please turn your phone off. And you still have it, even this morning. So the day when you start controlling that and thinking this is Allah's place, everything can resolve. We cannot be, everybody his own, responsibility. If somebody don't like you, don't worry, do it for sabilillah. Because whoever helped to close this masjid, it's a big problem. Whoever trying to open it, it's a lot of reward. Nobody is meet. We are all about adult, and we have the best ummah. But when we behave in zero, it hurt as believers. We go every place and we follow the rules. When you come to Allah's house, it's the last trash. Another thing, I don't like people who don't like me. Blood brothers here, they can wear their pajamas on Friday. It hurts. We are meeting Allah. If somebody has appointment any interview, maybe we put them under something new. It's hurting. How we can give where is our children? This is and Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, how did with Islam bring our behavior? We have behavior zero. Even next church, they're offering parking. But people, they don't care. Nobody can, it's everyday responsibility. You look, you stop that things. This is meant, it's like forbidden munkar. I don't know, you don't want to like hasana but big sayyi'ah. I share with you this hadith. Even the Prophet ﷺ said, I say in Arabic first, نَعَلَ اللَّهُ قَاطِعَ الطَّرِيقِ وَلَوْ بِالطَّعَامِ. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, he's cursing the person who's feeding, doing big hasana, but he's blocking the traffic. Imagine this. We come late always. We don't have any respect to the masjid, to no one. People working there is like trash. And we don't talk about the people come one time and you put big destroys and you go away. I'm telling you the truth, one day this place is going to be shut down because you don't behave. I say every single day things very bad. So my advice that all of us, like we had 40, so like 40 police officer, and you pass the word, and you pass the word. This is what I can say. It's not with you. And probably, if the community can see like the enforcement parking can be a little bit tough between like 11 to 1, because the truth, and like I said, one time, and like you don't want to be Hassan, but you're making big sayyi'ah, big mistake. So this is my advice.
Okay.
And you can, it's just like this morning, I can repeat it. Please, John, brother, your phone, and you have the phone. So if you don't want that, so how you can control the parking? No way. I'm sorry, Papa, that's my Allah give us hidayah.
No, Jazakallahu khair. And thank you very much.
السلام عليكم. السلام عليكم.
Kum salam wa rahmatullah.
Just give you an example. 2 nights ago, when I come, this house on the right side, on the left side, on the right side of George Avenue, where the stop sign is. A guy parked his car, black car, Mercedes, and I take a picture. Last night when I was coming, he was parking exactly. And I said, sir, do you know you are parking the house? He said, oh, I'm just making the Isha, I'm not going to stay. That's the kind of attitude we have. Certain people come to the masjid. My suggestion is, we're all Muslims, we come here to pray. What we can do, we can hire non-Muslims who can walk around, at least take a picture with the car and bring it to us so we can talk to that person. Because I know everybody come here for prayer, we cannot do it. On Fridays, the solution is, let's put somebody on the entrance and ask everybody who came from that side, are you sure you park in the right place? And he say no, so we can go and check. Also, we can hire a non-Muslim on Fridays even to do the job. So if we don't do something, we will be shut down like other masjids. We know what happened to masjid in Virginia, what they call Dar al-Hijrah. Something going on here. So what happens soon? Let us do something before it's too late. Let's hire non-Muslims who can do the job when we are praying. Or even we have two salat. We can volunteer. This somebody who come earlier, he can volunteer, walk around, tell the people don't park here. So, salam alaikum. Let's do something.
Thank you.
Assalamu alaikum.
Kum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Like you said, we understand. So I like this community. So we know this Ramadan, there's a lot of new people coming. They don't know anything about it. So those people come to the masjid. For example, if you have a ticket or got a towing, these new people, some of them, they may be thinking like that. Some of them, they change the new Muslim. They don't know. They came here the long way. Like community, you did good job. Allah give you hasan. Understand? I see one guy got a ticket over there. He crying. Last time, like Friday, he have a family. Enforcement, he got a ticket over there. I know he illegally parking stop sign. So he don't know. He comes a long way. Like community, you did good job. Allah give you hasan. You patient. Be patient.
Yeah.
Inshallah, Allah give you hasan.
Inshallah.
Once you start towing, those people, very bad people. Even though you say tow stop to tow, they come to tow all the cars. Even the community tells them to stop. They are bad, they are tow people. Inshallah, you have a hasana. We heard a lot of things. Those people, they don't know. They come to long way. They park legally. These people, they know. They're
Right.
close to here. Every day listen. Every day listen, they know. In Ramadan, a lot of people come. They don't know nothing. Even start to pray in Ramadan. You should da'wah every day. You should talk it. That's a good hasan, inshallah.
All right. Jazakallah. And thank you very much for all this participation. I know you are all here, the good driver one, but we need, go ahead, sister.
Assalamu alaikum.
Kum salam wa rahmatullah.
You know, by human nature, we usually react when something affects or your income or your family. So for towing is kind of a little harsh, but I think for a solution, we could give maybe a warning one time. And when they give you a warning, like next time if you park here, you're going to be in trouble. So if you do it again, since you received the warning, now I'm going to issue a ticket, or maybe they could tow. But first, just give a warning. I think that would be helpful.
Okay. That's a good one. So there was a suggestion earlier saying that Brother Abdullah, was it mentioning? He said to go visit the houses. Yes, I'm sorry. Somebody else? Yeah. After this. Salam wa rahmatullah.
I just wanted to reinforce what the brother was saying. But sadly, the reality that he was saying about, ticketing or towing, I do think towing is an extreme. But the point is, and I wouldn't suggest, Allah knows best, to go to that immediately. But the reality is that brother who got a ticket and for parking in the wrong place, if he got a ticket, he won't do that again. No, and all of us, well, I'm guilty that I have violated some traffic law or another, and we all get upset when it happens, but I don't do it again. So that's just the reality. I don't think that's wrong at all. But I was going to say, I think you already said it, actually. I'm just reiterating. The reminders that you give, don't give up. Keep doing that, like every time. Every time. And maybe you could add a sign in more than one place that's very easily and quickly seen by the people to remind them, do not park, on Highland and so on and so forth, or in front of people's houses. I don't know, someone can just come up with a wording of something not too long, maybe bullet points, something that's very visual. That person doesn't feel like they have to read a whole bunch of text. But the point is just main bullet points, very visual, very clear, and strategic spots that people cannot miss when they're walking in here. And I don't think it's an excuse for people they don't know because they're coming from other places, because when they come from other places, they follow traffic laws.
Right.
So while we don't want that for our brothers, of course, they've done it to themselves. We do it to ourselves. And there's a general mentality, I think. We need to be more courteous in general, more thoughtful. And we all make mistakes. We slip. But the point is we need to be more thoughtful. And it's a part of our deen. Like in our parking lot, and I'm sure no one's sitting here like this now, but we do things that are illogical. You can see that it's a tight parking space, and we're already in a situation, Allah forbid, if you come and you've got to go for an emergency, you get a call and you try to get out of here, you won't be able to do it, right? I mean, I think in a way it's a violation already, the way we're stuffing the cars there, because it should never be a way that you're just totally blocked. But we people every day, they park on the back row, or that's not a parking space, and people can't back out. Every day, like this morning, two of the the handicap parking, 3 spaces or 2 spaces empty because people park in front of there, no one can get in.
Right.
So it's like not logical. If you're going to block that space, why not go in the space?
Right.
Because once you block it, no one can use it. You've literally taken 2 spaces away. So, but we don't think that like this. Or we park in such a way that a person can't get in and out. And just not thinking. Okay, and like the example the brother gave about the truck, or you gave about the big truck at the woman's driveway, and then she clipped him, and he gets mad. So we do this to ourselves. But I'm just saying you should not give up on the reminders, and maybe if you have a real, you don't have to read the whole letter. If you got this complaint letter from the neighbor, you can show how serious it is. I don't think people maybe take it really seriously when you say the masjid could be closed or something like that. I think they're like it's just kalam, it's just talk.
Right.
But if you reinforce that this is a real possibility, then to help people understand the greater issue that's beyond their immediate issue of needing to park. Wallahu a'lam.
Jazakallah. Okay, thank you very much.
I just want to say very quickly, like we've been saying a lot what people should not do, but I think we should say more what they should do. Like, what is the alternative? We don't want you to park in people's houses, but where is the alternative? Because if people don't have this option, they just think that you are not really like communicating to them. So what do we want them to do? Where is the other option? Like, if you are not parking in front of people's houses, where should we park? I think that is also important.
Thank you. Thank you.
Assalamu alaikum again.
Yeah,
I think we have different information. We have this information from the neighbor who reach out even the county, right? The police department, everything. We are at the critical line now. It's not something like that. It's up to us. The neighbor, she communicated the police department. She communicated the whole community, because the whole area. So that 2-page email, it means something. We have to take it very seriously, because people, I think from the brother like Ahmed, he mentioned it very critically from the Islamic point of view, the Sunnah or Quran perspective, So it's not being lenient. After they close it, it takes a whole energy or maybe no chance to reopen it again. So there is a community, the neighbors already communicating with the law enforcement in the county and everything. They went far. So if we don't act, they will act. They will reinforce their action again, inshallah. Because I used to pray at Al Huda, but before when it was praying Juma and Tarawih prayers, So the neighbors, they make it shut down that, and it's only dedicated only for Islamic study. Other than that, this is very critical. We are at red line.
So just to take inventory here, one thing that I'm going to summarize, hotline. Okay, hotline. I think we can establish this immediately. We can order one phone and we could designate that. Signs. We're going to put extra sign. We had that before, right? We can extend it, and Brother Arif is going to be speaking also. And then as far as the partnership with the church, we already have that. We just need to popularize this. We need to propagate that we do have, they offer it to us, not the other way around. Enforcement, so we hire, probably we can hire more officers and in addition to, and a tow truck as a deterrent, right? So I just make sure that all those ideas I make a note of it, and I'm sure, our president is also making a note of it. We are going to do something. But emotionally, my dear brothers and sisters, listen to this. All of these ideas are great until we put emotion into it. Okay? And this is exactly why I'm taking it out. Until we own it. Every one of us here, feeling we own this. We own this problem. And this is exactly why we do this kind of discussion, inshallah. Tafadal, Brother President.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Alhamdulillah, thank you everyone who's stepping up here, and then we do believe that you are the most who love this place, enjoy this place, feel this place is very useful for everyone. Okay, so what we have been doing, this repeated behavior, keep repeating, and then we keep getting the letter and from different houses in the neighborhood. And then we categorize this into two bad apples in a basket. One, a few of our brother are disrespectful to our neighbors. Second, these brothers are ignorance. So we need to come up the idea how to, come up to, help with these brothers about these two categories. And then the second, I would like to share what we have been doing. We're trying to, actually what we are hiring, we have been hiring the police every Friday and during the Ramadan. They are off-duty officers. That means if they are given a ticket, it's just a symbolic ticket. If their brother knows, they challenge to the court, hey, why you do give the ticket, you are off duty. Okay, so this is only for helping us managing the traffic. Okay, because again, now because there is a violation, illegal parking violation in our neighborhood, that's another task. And then we spoke with the towing company yesterday in the morning. And then we asked if we could invite them and to enforce the illegal parking. They simply answer, who are authorized this? Are the neighborhood association authorized us to do so? Who's going to call us? You or the police? So then we need to come up then, we will talk to the police officer. How could we? Because according to him, the better idea who's calling the toll company is the police. And then now the question is, the off-duty police are allowed to call them. Okay, because the behavior of our brothers parking, not only blocking, but especially in the corner of each intersection. So the complaint of the neighbors is because, hey, I'm afraid if our neighbor or myself are calling paramedic, how could they make a turn? It's logic, right? So who can call this? The only thing is only the officers see this illegal parking and they make enforcement. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to talk with the police. Inshallah, Tuesday we have the iftar with the community. We are inviting the head of the district, 3 district of the police. We will again share this. And we are inviting the neighbors. Some of them already sign up, will come. And then we will share about this as well. And the third, as he mentioned, if we could, everyone here step up. Again, we thank you that everyone, will stepping up about this, and then especially, and as Brother Muhammad mentioned, please provide the hotline. This is actually, we are planning to do so. We're gonna buy a particular line that we will share to the communities. So not only us, but them immediately can call us, and then, oh, this is something that has happened, okay? Because this is not only 1%, 2%. Again, we don't know who, but our brother himself witnessing this. So this is not just you said, I said, you said, I said. No, someone already see on their eyes that, oh yeah, this brother disrespecting our neighbors, cursing them. This behavior is unacceptable. Because again, we don't want these bad apples ruin our community. But again, if you, another idea, we're gonna put, as Brother Abdul Karir mentioned, that we're gonna not only put a signs, but we are short of the volunteers. What we're gonna do, if it is allowed by the neighborhood association, we're gonna put like a line of corn, especially on the particular this first street, which is very narrow. One side we're gonna block with the corns, but we need volunteers to do so. And the other is on intersection here and the Wilson Street. We're gonna put this because those two, we have a very sensitive senior neighbors. One day, one incident, she would like to coming into the driveway, and these brothers not blocking the driveway, no, but he is parking right at the corner. So this old lady, cautiously driving, coming into the driveway, and this brothers just, no, come in, come in, come in. And then she didn't realize she hit, the mirrors and driver's side of our brother. You know what he did? And cursing her. And then she was just shocking, not surprised, shocking, and scared. Can you imagine our brother yelling, cursing to the old lady, our neighbor? And someone saw that. This behavior that's unacceptable. That's why we're going to put this enforcement. So I agree, we will remind, but at one point it's cross the limit, then we need to step up. Then how? And then again, we're going to enforce this. How? And I'm going to, talk with the police. We're going to contact our towing company here who are authorized in this region, inshallah, and soon. Okay? We know that this is not among of you, we believe. And this is someone that, doesn't belong to our community, doesn't respect our community, doesn't respect our neighbor, so and so on and so on. So every single day, actually, Brother Jafar and our committees is, working on this, but we have not shared this because until we know exactly what we are going to do. Because several options, including before Ramadan, usually we share what we are going to do in Ramadan and affecting the neighborhood traffic. We do ask the, permission to them. And then all the neighbors responded. Some of them, why don't you guys park in this line? Why don't you guys park in our cul-de-sac? Okay. And the other church also offering their parking. Okay. So, Alhamdulillah, they know exactly what's happened with us. Yeah, they do love us as well. Truly, they keep praising us, and then they keep saying, "Oh, you guys, Alhamdulillah, make this community life because before we purchase this, it's dead." So that's now they feel something is different. It's better for the neighborhood. Okay, so there's always we need to again stepping up here. Thank you everyone. If you want to help us volunteering for the next. And we are reached out to this church, but unfortunately, this church is said that they cannot do it because during the day they do have daycare. So they don't want because the daycare during the noontime, 12 to 1 o'clock, right? Parents picking up the children, so they don't have plenty spaces for parking. But as somebody mentioned that we could advise parking across the street, which is better because it's wider street, not narrow street. And then we also advocate some of them. If you remember, a couple months or a year back, we advised to park across the street. But just recently, couple nights ago, in the early of Ramadan, someone parking here. Yes, again, old lady. Just parking, not blocking the driveway, but for some reason the driveway only half space, so she cannot go out. She was waiting patiently until the brother moved the car, finished the tarawih, and then she was waiting. When our brother about to get in the car, and then she was just asking nicely, and then witnessed by our brother. And then she asked politely, why you blocking my driveway, even only small space? I cannot get out, check my car out. And then he didn't answer anything, just cursed her. And that brother who saw that was just surprising. The word came out from his mouth, who just finished the taraweh. Can you imagine? I cannot say anything. That's why I think we need to not only do the action. I would like everyone, I don't know, I keep asking with somebody who's stepping up this podium every single night, need to remind about tazkiyatun nas, sahus sadar, everything that will, realize that, we keep reminding, everyone about respecting the neighbor, but sometimes ourselves just so egoist, right? Just forget ignorance and disrespecting. Yes. Yes. Yeah. Okay, so that's what also we are afraid of. Because when she sent the letter, I know so far, Alhamdulillah, brother, we have been having a very, very good relationship with our county executive. And then they have put a belief 110% to us. Alhamdulillah so far. But we don't want this happen. And then that's what they are planning, to send this issue to county executive. Inshallah, this Tuesday we have a meeting with them in here. So that's what we are afraid of. Our occupancy rate, occupancy here, back in 50 years ago when it was church, for this top floor is 350. But this row, we already calculated, this row can occupy like filled by about 45 brothers. So we have like 9 rows. 9 multiplied by 500 is 450, is more beyond. So that's why if, some of you join our group, WhatsApp group, right? When we throw the idea, we are planning to have on Friday not only 2 thrice of the Friday prayer. It could it solve?
You mean a third
third
instead of
prayers.
I think that's another idea. Yeah.
Okay. So in all means that we are trying to do. But again, the resources. Resources, what I'm saying, is not the money. Resources about the volunteers. Because we are assessing right now the volunteers. If we open like 3 prayers, it's possible, but we need about the resources itself. Another idea. There's a brother about a year ago came up to me and then asked me, brother, why don't we ask a state to get the permission, asking if we are allowed to park on the Georgia Avenue from this block all the way just down to 1 block from Friday 12 to 2 o'clock. That's a good idea. But I said that I don't have any connection to a state governor. So if anyone know how to connect or to talk with this, a Maryland, I don't know how to call it, but I think we need just a go.
No, it's only the bus line. No question to call. There's no way to be.
Oh, yeah. You're right.
And besides, it's like a measure for state. That's just no option. So let's see what.
But because there's other option across the Spring Street. Oh, I see. Yeah, whatever that's, we need that's just another, we need a volunteer who knows to, again, propose this to the state, because we try to all means. That's good. Yeah.
So we need to study it first, and
Yeah, we could. Yeah.
Okay.
That's why we could try this. This is another way that at least to reduce every. We need to discuss. But one thing, all of this, as of now, we don't have got approval from the board. I'm sorry, the neighborhood association yet. What we are planning, we have not approved yet. That's why we are still talking with them, because when they are approved, then we could go to the police, and the police will work with the towing company. Okay. Yes.
What about didn't understand. You said that before you can implement the plan, the homeowners association has to approve.
Oh, that's why. Because we don't want this. If we are planning again, we're gonna put corn in the corner or 1 block, 1 side of the 4th Street. Because the issue of brothers just only blocking 2 sides in the narrow street of 1st Street. Even the neighbor cannot go out from his or her
No, his question is,
yes,
do we need consent from the neighborhood?
That's why.
Yes.
That's why if we are planning to block with the corn along 1st Street, so only brother can park one side, not two sides. Okay, so that's why we need to get approval from them, because this is what we are several options that we are going to propose to them.
Right.
Okay, so once they are saying that, okay, I think this idea, this option is good, we could implement. Then okay, we're gonna go to the a county and the police officer. Yes, yes, brother. That's a good option.
We attempted.
tried.
We filed already.
We filed already. And then because the church, that church on the other block, yes. And the
They're also
synagogue,
filing.
yes, they do have, because they came first to the state. Okay, so we talked already with.
But we filed first, and they heard us,
Yeah.
and then they filed too. So
Yeah.
well,
So, but the idea of put the crosswalk, yes,
Yeah.
that's right.
Yes,
Yes,
yes, we
yes.
could. So this is probably another area that we can propagate, because a lot of people don't know that. And walking from that church to here, according to Jafar, is 5 minutes. I went there and I walk here is only 4 minutes, and I'm shorter. So
Yes, brother. Yes. Yeah. Go. Correct. Yes. Yeah, but the ticket, who's going to give the ticket? Because there is off-duty policer. Okay. We could approach to Brother
Yeah.
Sheriff to ask this if again. Yes.
yeah.
Uh-huh. Mhm.
Yes. Good point. So we need to have another enforcement. This is like Al-Quran said, there will be police to police the police.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right.
Well, actually,
They got
brother,
permission.
here, this neighborhood actually is not allowed to park in this neighborhood during the day, But the parking enforcements down in Silver Spring from the city, actually they are nice. They don't want to come here. They don't want to come here. They know that we are parking here. They're so nice. They don't want to come here. They could give ticket all cars here. So what we're gonna do? That's why we're gonna keep them sleeping. Okay. However, we're gonna enforce parking a certain area, but we need to talk with Brother Sheriff again. How would give the ticket a certain spot, especially illegal parking and that. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Yes.
Before we do that ticket, can you print out from the management, the Imam Center management, that we are next week.